Now, I want to talk about words of deceit. Now, sometimes some people behind the scenes, because you have words, people say words and then they say other things, or what they truly mean, perhaps later on if it's not the truth, to other people, or make other people perceive something different because they believe they need to, as they're a different group, stuff like that. And so we have words of deceit. Right? Happens all the time. People trick, it's trickery, words, trickery, stuff like that. But in the end, if we keep to the science we learn about words and how we learned ourselves and how we can figure these things out, which we can, and body language with it, it helps us figure out things. Everyone can deceive. Everything takes time to figure out things, sometimes shorter than others, when it comes to words of deceit. Now, words of deceit means you say words, you say you're going to change, say you're going to do this, say you're going to do that, right? And then nothing happens. Right? Words of deceit could be that you've been like something and now you're saying all these completely different words, different person, and you're trying to get people to believe that that's the new you, right? And it's not. Words of deceit. But words of not deceit is when you have a change, which I was talking about when it comes to criminals and getting a new change and stuff like that, right? Is that the words are true. And if that happens, and you believe that the words of deceit and treat the people with the words of deceit, you'll make them go back to that deceit. They'll go, well, you keep saying I'm a violent man. I might as well be a violent man. Shit, right? They can go to that. It's a human thing, animal thing. It's a part of the energy thing. It helps us all get along and work in different ways. It's an energy thing. And so that's why once you learn, you have words of deceit, words of manipulation, and all those kind of things. And so I always like to look the positive way first, unless you already know them. Right? If you know them, the more you know them personally, the more you can find out about their words of deceit. But a lot of times we get fooled from people that we meet out there, people that we only meet every now and then, an hour a day. The rest of the day, the 23 hours, they could be something else. Right? And it's not that hard to play something for not that long. And the shorter you play it, the easier it is you can fuck up and play it. Right? But the longer you try to not be you, the more likely you're going to fuck up, right? And be you and come out. Right? And that's how people get to know people over time, which is what I say, you get to know people for a while, because people are getting good at pretending for a while to get an outcome and then becoming themselves. Right? Some people even stick to years on that for a good big outcome if they've got a big belief of their plan outcome. Right? Why that would work so hard. Because pretending is work. It's acting. Right? Actors show you that point. Right? And anyone can do any deceit. It'll look like something. Right? And so when it comes to words of deceit, I take it all positively. So if they're willing to change now, I'm going to go with it. But make sure you do, because if you don't, it's going to backfire, definitely when you stick to these certain rules. So you're going to make sure there's these certain rules and steps to catch out these things. Otherwise, if you have no plan, you don't know what you're doing. But I know how to catch out people with deceit. Right? And it takes time. Right? The more you run into them, the quicker you can catch them. Right? The less you run into them, it might take more time, because study takes time. The more outcomes, the more things, the more likely you get 100% guarantees and all that kind of stuff. Right? Words of deceit. So in the end, they only fool themselves, which is what I talked about when it comes to looking back in the government systems and all the promises they broke. Because they use words of deceit. Right? If they can show that they tried all their hardest and they did the best and they did what their part and didn't stop at it, right? And show what they believe what the hardest means, right? And other people delayed that and it wasn't their fault, then they're not words of deceit, which is what study means. Study what happened, who was in the wrong. Right? That's what it's meant to happen when it comes to wars. We should have these teams where if they're asking for our help now, all right, we're going to go right back to where all this really started. And if it's 30 years, well, you're going to have to give us a while. And if you can pay for this team, you want to make sure it's right, because if it's not, we're going to charge you for this look and go, hang on, now what you said and all this help wasn't right. We've researched it and found out that you're the one that started it. And it got a little out of control, but two wrongs don't make a right, and I prefer to stay out of it. Or here's the conditions where you both need to get your shit together, otherwise I'm not getting involved, right? Or you're going to guarantee do it, like America's trying to say to Israel, otherwise I'm not going to get involved, right? Don't push me, don't tell me, right? That's what the other team does. Right? And so the best way to connect is either blackmail them and go, well, if you don't, I'm going to bomb you, and all these things, or you just be truthful and actually move on. And when you're truthful and be real, you move on. You start upgrading. right? Or you can be deceit and real and kill as much as you want, and you start upgrading. So which ones do you want to pick? Which one's the best? Right? And then when you want to pause, you can pause things. You can pause technology, and you can pause growth, human growth. You can pause animal growth. You don't have to kill it. The killing's, that's the primitive. It's always there. It shows what's available and it needs to be there. We always need someone that loves to wash toilets in a way, because we need someone that cleans toilets, or we need someone that a sector that people always go to there, like an upgrade. Like young kids do certain jobs that people don't really like to do, and then they're basic. Right? But anyway, good luck out there. What yous all do, and words of trust, that's how I take it. And I say to them, if they try to laugh behind the scenes going, I just fooled him. Well, in the end, if we stick to the right things and to the positive, and the positive stays to the positive, and the positive outcome becomes, because one of them does, or it's a balance, it's going to be a good one. And that's what you stick to. Just like the bad guys stick to, I'm going to go there and gut him later on so he can say what he wants now, but I'm going to kill him later. So, it's the same motivated ego and ways of doing things to get an outcome. Right? And he could be right. He might get right. He might not. When he goes to do that action, it's the same with the connection. Will they be truthful what they say, or are they deceiving you? Right? And we collectively get our outcomes, and we want the truth about what we are. And are we ready to other planets, which we aren't, right? For a real connection, as we have dangerous people here. Right? Would you go to visit a family that two of them are good, but there's an ex-murderer there? Just one. I bet you, let me know in comment, what would you say? Or they're a rapist. But they're not anymore. They're not even anymore. So let me know if you would do it if they were, or if they even were previously. You let me know where you are today and the way you think and see. And I bet you a lot of you will go, no, I won't go. And yet, it could be healed. If it was an ex-male, I probably wouldn't go there either. But say they won't because they're with the family. Would you punish the family? Of course you will, because the family's allowing it. But if they've healed, well, then you're as been as bad as other people by not forgiving. And if you're religious and talk about forgiving, then you're a hypocrite. Huh? You only believe in your forgiveness. Then you can't even use science and debate with people. People who are guilty don't like to debate. They can use words like we don't have to, but did they have the debates to finish off where they go, look, now I don't have to debate again, don't have to use these words, it's my opinion, that's what I've got to say, and we're going to leave it there, and one day we'll come and debate there. They can end it like that. But other than that, most people don't debate because they're guilty or don't want to. Have a good one and see you later.